This video goes to anyone who actually sees all these signs and they are quiet and they actually want to change themselves. It's about time. Another one is they dismiss your feelings. Yes, they dismiss your feelings in this way. Like your mom will not be there to comfort you, or your dad, or they will not be there to be like, okay, like, I understand you're feeling this way. They will not be around for that. Even when they're the ones who did that issue, like, even if they're the ones who caused you pain or hurt, they will not be able to apologize, and you'll just live like, you just don't matter and you feel unworthy. And this causes the child to shut down emotionally, and you feel like you will not be able to trust your mother in anything, or your dad. They want any parent who's toxic. You feel like you can't trust them. You shut down. You feel like you can never open up to them. So it causes a child to feel lonely at times because they are alone. In real sense, they actually are. Because they feel like they can't trust you, and you've already shown them that you can't be trusted. Because a child needs stability, and if you are born under shaky grounds and you grew up on shaky grounds, like, your whole life will be like that, which is very serious. Most people are not going through depression or stuff like that. I think most people actually go through childhood traumas, and most of them, they're caused by parents who went through their own problems and did not heal from them, and they just brought the kids to this world to add the hurt and the pain, and these kids grow up hurt. Because you know what, like, kids need the love of a mother. They need to grow mentally like that. But then, I'm so sorry to say, many African parents are affected by this issue. Very many. It's like you just went through a lot in life and you don't know how else to act, so the way you act actually affects the kids. It just, kuna wale wana realize that sooner, na kuna wale they just become as damaged as the parents, and the cycle continues. So this video goes to anyone who actually sees all these signs and they are quiet and they actually want to change themselves. It's about time to take control of your life, because you don't want to end up like that. If you actually know something is wrong and you feel like you're hurt, just, you have to take a step to the right direction. The first step is to admit you're going through that problem. Yes, you have to admit, as much as it hurts to the core, to feel like your family or your mom or your dad is the one who's causing all that. You have to face it yourself and talk about it and be okay with that fact. Then you can heal. So this is to anyone who actually has gone through this and they actually didn't know if it's an issue. It is an issue. It's a very big issue. Because if I read, we're gonna go to the next topic, the next subject, like a subtopic, about how, like, this affects the child as they grow up. How a toxic parent affects the child as, like, they're growing up or at a very young age. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So when a parent is, like, very dismissive, it communicates to the child that I am not a safe place. I don't have time for you. You can't tell me anything, and you can't trust me with anything. That's what it communicates to the child. If ukimwambia, maybe you as a child, you're like, dad, mom, maybe I'm going through this, and your parent doesn't even care. They don't even care what you're saying. They're like, what is this one telling me now? That communicates a lot. It makes the kid actually even shut down. So the next part is the effects of a toxic parent to the child. First of all, it can cause low self-esteem, poor self-image, lack of confidence, hard times in making decisions, lack of personal boundaries, like you can't say no, like you're always just saying yes. Causes them to neglect themselves. Yani, you feel like you're not worth it. Like you feel like your life doesn't matter. Yes, codependent on others or independent of others, very childish. It can cause immaturity on a child. Like a child can be a person can be 26 and still acting like the 6-year-old who was damaged. Causes a child to feel unworthy. It causes you to feel like unworthy, to feel disconnected, lonely. You can be very hypersensitive to everything. You can't take criticism because it was always personal with your parent. Like, people like that who just like take criticism, they can't take criticism because their parent was like, it was always a fight with them. Like every time maybe your parent tells you a bad thing and you're like, why are you telling me this, blah blah blah. So it was always maybe a problem. Yeah. Lack of trust. First of all, it brings a lot of trust issues, and the list is just endless. Like, it brings a lot of hurt and pain and everything. So I'm telling you, as much as we're all talking about mental health, this is part of mental health too. Yes, there are people who get depression because of this. There are people who get anxiety because of this. There are people who are bipolar because of this. Yes. First of all, tulileta kwa hii dunia with our parents, and if your childhood is an issue, utafanya nini? So now the next subtopic is how to deal with it now. How do you deal with that? So now we've finished talking about all the problems, the signs. Now we're talking about how to work with it, and to like how to now take control of your life and what you're going to do about it. First of all, you grieve the loss of the parent daughter relationship. Unasema tu kama haitakuwa. Unaona, you don't force things. You're just like, if it can't work, it can't work, but I'm optimistic. Just say like you're optimistic about them changing, but then you can't control another person's life. Tuanzie tu hapo. So now you have to know that and be aware and just grieve the loss of that relationship, because maybe it might never happen if they died, or if they're still alive, it might not happen still, or it might happen. It just depends with, just how to work with it. Another thing, you just have to lower your expectation. Expect anything and be okay with it, because it's not you messing up, it's them and the insecurities. You get my point? You have already known your problem and you're fixing it, but you can't live always judging or feeling bad about everything they do. You just have to actually take it easy and lower your expectation. Expect anything. That way you cannot be hurt. Yeah. Another thing, you are mature enough, you're an adult. If you're watching this video, I know you're an adult. You are an adult, okay? You're an adult. Now, because you're an adult, you have to take charge of your life and reparent yourself. Sawa. Uone, if I did not get this kind of love, you just have to be telling yourself affirmations. Key. Tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am supported, I am trusting, I am loved. Jiambie. Kama hukuambiwa, jiambie. Because you have to take charge of your life, you have to love yourself. Even if you've been damaged. And I know many problems root from this. Attachment styles, childhood problems, traumas, everything. It always results from the childhood. So it's about time to do that shadow work. And this will actually help you a lot. If you realize you're going through this, or you've gone through this, this is a good way of healing. Okay? You reparent yourself by affirmations. Tell yourself every day the things you'd want your parent to tell you, like you're good, you're trusting, you're worth trusting, because parents can actually make you feel like you can't even be trusted, you can't even trust yourself. The decisions you make, you always like second guess, you keep asking people, is it supposed to be this way, because you don't even know. You always want validation from people to tell you how you are. If you're secure in yourself, and if you actually were secure from a very young age, you didn't need all that. That's what I'm trying to say. Another thing, you have to put solid boundaries, like no accepting, no saying yes all the time. You have to accept that sometimes you can say no and that person has to listen, because your boundaries just state like that. So do this every time, like your boundaries are broken down by anyone, be it your parents or your guardian. You reinforce them, you tell them, I can't do things like this, because at the end of the day, you're a grown-up. Okay, let nobody control your life. You don't have to be your parent. Your parent was themselves. Turn out venye turn out, lakini wewe, you don't have to be like that. Sawa, simple and clear. You will never turn out like them. Yeah, and you don't have to be as mean as them, or because you went through that, you want other people to go through that too. You don't have to be like anybody else. Like, this is your life. You'll not end up like that. So don't ever think that you will, unless you want it to be that way. Yes. Another thing you have to know is that what they said about you is wrong. Cause ukifikiria uweke hizo vitu kwa roho, itakuumiza sana, cause you'll be like, why is my mom thinking of me like this? Or the things they've said that hurt you, like, think of them as they were wrong, because that's when all those lies will just slowly roll down your back, sis or bro. Yeah, literally, like, utakuwa sawa. Just know that is them, that is their opinion, but it's not your opinion. That's not how you think of yourself. So if they said bad things to you, things that zinakuuma, you feel so bad about them, just know it's not your fault and it's lies, because that's not how you think of yourself. Yeah, thank you for staying up to the end of this channel. Like, please like, share, comment and subscribe if you like the content. And yeah, thank you. Now that we have talked about all the problems and all the signs that can tell you about a toxic parent, we're going to talk about solutions. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Me, you, where?